Hello, I'm Bernard Norcott-Mahany. I work at the Blueford branch of the Kansas City Public Library, and April is National Poetry Month, and during April of 2022, I am reading poems of Horace. Horace is best known for a collection of poems called the Odes. These are 4 books of poems, which basically means like 4 chapters of poems. The first 3 books were actually published as a unit in 23 BCE, and book 4 was published later. And the books 1 through 3 really Horace saw as his sort of great monument to poetry, and we'll see that in the very last poem of book 3. But well, I'm using David Ferry's English translation. David Ferry is a good poet, and he does a good job of translating Horace's spirit. And that's, I think, the key thing here. You're not going to catch some of the niceties of Roman metrics in Ferry's translation, simply because Roman metrics don't really work in English poetry. You know, our metrical scheme doesn't really match up with either the Roman or the Greek scheme. So if you try to match that exactly, what you're going to do is come up with something that sounds really clinky. And so, we don't have that here. Today I'm going to read a poem that Ferry entitles The Old Days. This is poem 15 of Book II of the Odes. The old days in question here are the days of Cato the Censor, and even of Romulus, of the founding of Rome, when things were simple and Roman farmers worked their farms as farms should be worked, in Horace's eyes, to basically make a product, to make olive oil, or to grow, vines for grape and wine. What's happening is developers are taking some of the nice spots of land and they're turning them into developments. So these are sort of like beautiful retirement homes that are not actually farms that are working farms. And so Horace here is being something of a grouch about, these kids these days. So this is poem 15 from Book 2 of the Odes, The Old Days. It won't be long before the little farms will be crowded out of being by the great estates of these later days, with their enormous fish ponds bigger than Lake Lucrinus is. Now the old elm is yielding to the new plane tree, to which no vine will ever cling, and the ubiquitous fragrance of the myrtle, the violets, and the other sweet-smelling flowers scatters itself and spreads throughout the groves of ancient olive trees, which once rewarded their owners' patient labor. And pretty soon, the decorator laurel tree will quite shut out the hot sun's rays once needed by the farmer. It wasn't like this at all in Cato's time or Romulus's time. Our fathers' ways were not these ways. Nobody minded then that his holding was nothing more than a little farm. They thought more then about the common good. Nobody had a great big portico then, built on the north for shade from the summer sun. Brick houses roofed with thatch were common as dirt, and nobody scorned them. The law, however, required that everyone should pay his share of the cost of adorning with marble the temples of the gods. So that was The Old Days by Horace, poem 15, book 2 of the Odes.